I'm going to go over the oxygen sag curve and along with biological oxygen demand, also known as BOD. So let's take a look at this picture and then we're going to sketch it out on our own. But take a look at this pipe right here. And this pipe shows some sort of substance entering a body of water, a river or a lake or something like that, most likely a river. And you have different zones here. So if the flow of the river is going to the right, we have a lot of dissolved oxygen here, and then it drops. And so this is what we call the sag of the oxygen sag curve, because this is sewage or some kind of pollutant that has to be decomposed, and it's usually an organic pollutant. So organic comes from a living thing and it usually has to be decomposed. So it could be sewage that's untreated sewage. It could be waste from an animal farm, something like that that is organic waste. So the oxygen, see, things that decompose, the bacteria that decompose need oxygen. So the demand for oxygen shoots up. And they decompose this waste. And over time, as they decompose it, the demand ends up dropping. Your dissolved oxygen over here does the opposite. So it starts out high at 8 parts per million, and then it drops, and then it comes back up. And so that's what we call the sag. Here's another picture. This time we happen to be maybe in a lake or an ocean, and then here is our waste here. And then the current is flowing to the right. And so we have, this is a clean zone here and a clear zone here. And then we have our three other zones. Let's go ahead and sketch this out. Let's go ahead and sketch out this diagram and go ahead and sketch it on your own paper. So we're going to start with a body of water, and this will be the bottom of the water, the blue's the top, and we're going to make 5 zones. And the first part of it is called the clean zone. So the water's clean and it's healthy in this body of water. And we'll also say the current is flowing this way, so that's where the current is flowing. So this could be a river, a lake, the ocean, or something like that. And then we have some pollution coming in at some point. Now this could be a pipe, it could be debris of some kind. So it's some sort of organic pollution, and organic means from a living thing. So let's go ahead and name some of the organic pollutants. And again, it could be untreated sewage. So in our city, we have treated wastewater, and we don't dump organic pollution into a body of water. But on occasion, sometimes you have a sewage spill into a body of water, or this could be from storm drains. So our storm drains go directly into the river. They do not go through a wastewater treatment plant. In some countries, they don't have wastewater treatment, so their sewage goes directly into a body of water. This could be, again, from a storm drain. And there's lots of things get washed into storm drains in the gutter. Things like dog feces or grass clippings or leaves can get washed in there. So a lot can get washed into storm drains, and then if we have a heavy rain in Southern California, all of that gets pushed out into the river or pushed out into the ocean if you live closer to the ocean. And that is all organic pollutant. Well, a lot of it is organic pollutant. There's also some trash and plastics and things as well. So this could also be debris. So, for example, we had heavy rains and it brought down ash from a fire into our river, and so that's debris that's going to be decomposed. So anything, again, that's living, these, again, could be leaf litter. It could be dead animals from some sort of a disaster or a hurricane or flooding. But anything that is alive, that is now dead and has to be decomposed is part of this issue. So at some point it enters the body of water, and that's when the requirement for dissolved oxygen increases. So we have here, we'll put the BOD demand. So this is the BOD, biological oxygen demand. And that means the demand for oxygen by the decomposers. So your bacteria is your main decomposers. There are other things too. So bacteria and other decomposers need oxygen, and we'll say dissolved oxygen, to decompose, or we'll say to break down the organic matter. And I'll try and spell organic correctly. Organic matter. So now our demand goes way up for oxygen. So we're going to take this and we're going to shoot it up to the top, because at here, where the pollution is coming in, we're going to now have a huge demand for oxygen. And then it's going to decrease, decrease, decrease as the stuff gets decomposed. So over time, it will decrease. And the dissolved oxygen does the opposite. So if it starts here high, it's going to drop because the decomposers are going to use the oxygen. And so this is our dissolved oxygen. This right here is where it sags. So this is the sagging point right here. And that's why we call it the oxygen sag curve. The other zones are your decomposition zone. I'm going to abbreviate it, decomposition zone. And then your septic zone. And then the recovery zone. And then the clear zone. So it's back to normal here in the clear zone. So where is it the worst? Where is the dissolved oxygen the lowest? And it's right here in the septic zone. So septic means rotten, comes from the Greek word for rotten. Sometimes it means infected with bacteria, diseased, and so the zone with the worst problems is going to be here in the septic zone. The two pictures at the beginning show that fish is gone, so there's no fish here. So let's go ahead and draw dead fish. So we have X's for eyes, the fish are dead. The only thing living here is bacteria and maybe some worms, things that can live in zero oxygen. And then the fish start coming back in the recovery zone, and in the clear zone you have nice happy fish. And over here you have happy fish and other aquatic life. So this is what you need to know about the oxygen sag curve, and it's a result of biological oxygen demand. And again, know what can cause it: debris, leaf litter, sewage spills, fires, mudslides, so anything that kills off or brings in dead living things then can cause this to happen. So make sure you have this sketch with all the parts on your note paper.